So yeah, to put it lightly, my roommate got mad at me because originally I was just drinking a little bit like I usually do on Friday nights. I didn't get wasted, I wasn't even drunk, and his girlfriend got stuck in the driveway, so I went out there to help shovel her car and get her car into the driveway. And we went inside and she took a couple shots, and I don't know, I guess her alcohol tolerance isn't that great, because when he came home, he was automatically pissed that I was hanging out with her to begin with. And then she seemed fine up until they decided to leave the house, and he started yelling at me and getting pissed at me and threatening to call the cops on me, even though I wasn't doing anything wrong, and was antagonizing me, saying that I wouldn't be good to go to work the next day and all this other stuff, even though I wasn't anywhere near drunk and I would have been fine. And then he started texting me stuff, as you saw, and pretty much made it impossible for me to go to work today. I would have worked 8:45 to 3 and then come and see Nick, but he made it to where if I had gotten in my car tomorrow, odds are I would have been pulled over, even though I would have been completely fine. I didn't want to deal with that. So he pretty much made it impossible for me to go to work. And he was saying that her being drunk was my fault and that I forced her to drink and all this other stuff. And I didn't, I would never do something like that. And it was really up. And he started saying other stuff and really freaking me out. And it got to the point where I didn't feel safe. I was really scared. I was having a really, really bad panic attack, and I called Nick and I told him I don't feel safe. I'm really scared right now because my roommate was getting really aggressive, and I ended up having to call out of work for the first time in 8 or 9 months because of it. Which I'm not worried about getting in trouble with work, because calling out once in 8 or 9 months is not that big of a deal, and I called the night last night instead of this morning. So as far as work, I'm not concerned, but it was really messed up, and the entire drive home I was still having a panic attack. I was crying. I was really, really upset. But Nick came all the way from Solon Springs. He drove an hour, more than an hour actually, because the roads really sucked, to come get me and bring me here so I would be safe and I would feel safe. But yeah, not really gonna vlog today. It's already 6:30. We haven't done much today besides relax. I'm still exhausted. We slept a lot today. We probably didn't actually get out of bed till around 1:30. But yeah, because I don't know how or what's gonna happen when I go home at some point tomorrow. I have no idea. But we'll see. But yeah, my roommate's just out of control, and it is what it is. So it's Sunday, it's going on 11. Me and Nick have just kind of been slumming it. Slept in a little bit, ate breakfast, and now we're about to both take showers, and I have no idea what we're doing with our day. But yeah, still a little kind of worried about what's going to happen when I go home, because my roommate, like I said, on Friday night went way over the edge with everything. But just for the record, I wasn't wasted Friday night. I had a few shots, feeling a little bit tipsy, but I would have been fine by the morning, because as you guys know, I drink every Friday night, but I always go to work the next day. But because his girlfriend got drunk, even though I don't believe she was that drunk, because she was really coherent when me and her were talking before he came home, he blames me for it, saying that I pressured her to drink or that I forced her to drink, even though that's not true. I would never do that. She never said no, and me and her were having a perfectly good time, and we were both in a good mood before he came home. I think he just got pissed at the fact that me and her were hanging out. And he still holds his last girlfriend breaking up with him against me. He says that I'm the one who sabotaged the relationship. Even though that's not the case. She just kind of figured out that he was lying to her about everything. About me, about his past, about his other girlfriend that he was cheating on me with when me and him were together. That was a fun story, but I guess he was thinking that I was trying to sabotage his relationship again, which is not the case. I have no reason to. I've got Nick, he's got his girlfriend. I've been trying to stay out of his way. But he got pissed that she was drinking. Even though she told me that they go out and, you know, he lets her drink and stuff like that, so I didn't think it was an issue. She's her own person. If she said no, I wouldn't have made her, or offered her, and, yeah, he accused me of forcing her, or at least pressuring her to drink, even though she never said no, and she took the shots willingly, and then he made it impossible for me to go to work because he was accusing me of being really, really drunk, even though I wasn't. I mean, Nick even came over Friday night and I wasn't drunk, or at that point even buzzed, because he had killed my buzz from, you know, getting mad at me and sending all those text messages that you guys saw, and he made it impossible for me to go to work because he said that I wouldn't be fine, even though I would have been perfectly fine. But I ended up calling out of work Friday night, and he made me feel really, really unsafe because he wouldn't stop blowing up my phone with text messages and, you know, being all pissed at me and whatever. He took it way, way too far, and he was acting so aggressive to the point where I didn't feel safe in the house, and I was actually scared. And I'm only repeating myself because I don't know how much of Friday night's clips I'm going to show, because I was a mess and I was having a panic attack, actually. I just wanted to record it to get it on camera as, like, evidence in case anything else happens. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy dealing with a roommate like that. I've been trying to be as civil as possible with him. I stay out of his way. I clean up after myself. I don't clean up after him usually anymore, but yeah. I'm gonna take a shower and I have no idea what me and Nick are gonna do with the rest of our day. This is gonna be clean. Anyway, me and Nick are gonna start scouting out apartments around the Duluth area just for me, because honestly, both of us, it's been made very clear that I'm just a guest in my own house when it comes to my roommate. I'm expected to clean up after him and his girlfriend. I'm expected to pick up the slack for certain things that I shouldn't have to pick up the slack for. You know, and especially now that it's snowing. This happened last year and the year before. Or like the last couple winters that I spent here, I was the only one really shoveling and dealing with the snow and the ice. Pretty much he's just using me in every which way he can. And after Friday night, it became apparently clear that he just does not care. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about what happens to me. He doesn't care if I miss work. He just doesn't care, which is really, it sucks. It hurts, but I've been thinking about it since Friday night that, you know, it's painfully obvious where I stand in his life. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about what happens to me. And I deserve more than that. I deserve to feel safe in my house. Because the fact that I don't feel safe, and I have trouble sleeping at night because I'm worried about what drama he's gonna, you know, come after me for, you know, whatever bad mood he's gonna be in. And there was a certain times where I would end the vlogs early, because he would come home in a bad mood and just take whatever out on me because he could, because I was the only one in the house, and that is so not cool, and it's so not right, and I don't deserve that. I deserve to be able to feel safe and, you know, not terrified and not, you know, paranoid of what is he going to yell at me for this time? What is he going to get on me for this time? You know, what is he going to blame me for this time? And it actually, essentially it freaked me out, but now it kind of just pisses me off that he was accusing me of getting his girlfriend drunk on purpose or pressuring her to drink when I would never do something like that. You know, I don't care how he sees me, but I have people that know me, and Nick knows me. I would never force somebody to drink. I would never purposely get them drunk. If somebody tells me no, I know the definition of no. No means no. No means stop. No means knock it off, you know? He doesn't understand no. He doesn't understand stop. He doesn't care about those kinds of things, you know? As long as he's comfortable and it's convenient for him and he's got his covered, he does not give a flying what happens to me. And that's not right. It's not. And I need to leave because, you know, he had me so terrified and so scared and was able to pull strings because of his good relations with the police department in Duluth, that he made it to where I physically could not get to work because he made it impossible for me to drive my car without getting pulled over for a DWI, even though I would have been fine. And I'm trying to keep my record clean. And the only reason he did that is because he swore up and down that I was absolutely wasted, that I was trashed, which was not true. Especially when Nick came over, he could see that I wasn't drunk. I was terrified. I was scared. You know, I had a little bit of a buzz, but you gotta think about the statistics of alcohol leaving your system. I had at least 10 to probably 9 to 10 and a half hours to work or to sleep off the alcohol. I was also going to eat before I went to bed, and I always, I mean, Nick could attest to this, I drink like a camel when it comes to water before I go to bed and when I wake up, so I would have been right as rain for work, and it wouldn't be the first Friday night I ever drank, knowing that I had to work Saturday. And you know, my work record would attest to this. I haven't missed work in 8 or 9 months, and the last time I missed work is because I had the flu and I literally couldn't go to work. It just pisses me off to no end that he's able to manipulate and control my life so much that I miss work and that I'm terrified in my own home and I can't sleep and I don't feel safe. That's extremely messed up and it's not right. So me and Nick are gonna start looking at apartments in Duluth that I'll be able to afford. That'll make it safer for my cats. That is an absolutely gorgeous sunset. Those are a week's worth of dishes that I have decided not to touch up until now. It's ridiculous. But I'm not going to do them just yet. There is something I want to explain to you guys for real this time. And yes, if you guys are wondering why the angle is so good, I am using a selfie stick. Shut up. It was $1. I was like, why not? Anyway. I want to be very serious with you guys for a second, because between the last couple days, my mind's just been so messed up that I haven't been able to really talk to you guys about it. I also didn't want to vlog too much about it while I was at Nick's house because I was trying to relax and get my head together. What happened after I stopped vlogging Friday? Well, I decided to drink. And before you guys say anything, it was just a little bit. I drink every Friday because I don't have to be up till hell. I don't have to really be up till 6:30, 7:30 at the latest. So if I needed that extra time to sleep, I could. And anytime I have gotten drunk or have drank alcohol on a Friday, I have never missed work. I have never performed badly at work. It has never affected my ability to go to work the next day. And Saturday was the first, I should say yesterday, because yesterday was Saturday, was the first day I had missed work since I met Nick, which was 7, almost 8 months ago. And that is ridiculous. And what happened was I ended the vlog, I edited it, I got it uploaded, and I decided I was going to take some shots for myself. That way, one, I could measure how much I was consuming, and two, I could give it time to hit me, so I stayed at a steady buzz and not had to worry about getting too drunk too quickly. I had reached the point where I was almost ready to stop. I wasn't even buzzed, like I was slightly tipsy. I could feel it. I had taken maybe 3 or 4 shots at that point, and I was like, okay, I'm fine. Like, I wasn't really bugged by it, but I noticed my roommate's girlfriend was having trouble getting to the driveway, and she came probably within like that much of hitting my car trying to get into the driveway. And I was like, I can't leave her parked like that because then my roommate won't be able to get into the driveway and it's going to be a mess, or she is going to hit my car. And so I went out there and I helped to shovel enough space for her to get into the driveway. I even was able to pull her car into the driveway and, you know, get it safely parked in front of my car, but far enough that she'd be okay. And then me and her stood out there for probably another half hour or so shoveling snow to try to make room for my roommate to get in. And with that, we decided to go inside. We were having a great conversation. Me and her were getting along just fine. And then I offered her a shot. I was like, hey, you know what? Do you want to take a shot? I'll help warm you up, whatever. Neither of us were planning on going out the rest of the night anyway, so I kind of figured she'd be fine. And she was. She took a couple shots with me. We were having a great conversation. She seemed completely coherent, completely in control of herself, completely fine. And I was completely fine. If anything, I was actually coming down from the slight buzz that I had because I was out in the cold shoveling and, you know, my blood was pumping. And I was freezing when we came inside. So we come inside, we took a couple shots together, having a great conversation. Everything seems fine until my roommate comes home. And he sees me and her hanging out. And he got antsy over the fact that me and her were hanging out to begin with. And I had found out from her, because she's nice and honest and blunt like I am, and she had told me that he had been talking crap about me, which wasn't really a surprise, honestly. Not surprised to hear that, but he had been talking crap about me, saying that I've been the one making the messes in the house, and I'm not the one who cleans up after myself, and that I don't care about... The one thing that got me is that he said I don't care about my cats, and he said that I don't know how to take care of my cats. And that hurt. The only reason that they're in the basement and not allowed to come out is because of him. He's the one who doesn't like my cats. He's the one who doesn't bother, you know, doing anything with the cats, but they're not his responsibility, so I don't expect him to. But the only reason they're in the basement and they're not in my room and they're not, like, being able to have any sort of freedom is because of him. He would pitch a fit if I let them outside of the basement. He would pitch a fit if, you know, even if they were up in my room, because he still claims that there's fleas in the house, even though there's pretty much not anymore. Like, I haven't had any flea issues. And I haven't been getting bit or anything, and the cats have been doing okay. I mean, Jazz still has skin issues, but I'm starting to think that's completely unrelated because she's always had skin issues. So, anyway, that's not the point. So, he already got mad about that, and I confronted him like, you really think I don't care about my cats and that I don't take care of them? Like, you're freaking kidding me, right? And so I was getting mad about that, and because he saw that there was a bottle and 2 shot glasses on the table, he jumped to the conclusion that I was face drunk. And the only thing that would have indicated that was I was slightly slurring my words. Problem is, I already have speech problems. Like, I wouldn't say it's a complete speech impediment, but I already have problems, and at that point, I was coming down from my buzz to begin with, and I was still cold. Like, I had that cold face, like, feeling, so I was having trouble talking to begin with, and I think I was only, like, slightly buzzed at that point, and he was saying that I was drunk. He was like, you're drunk, you're slurring your words, you can't talk straight, you're drunk. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, no, I'm not. And he was like, you need to just go to bed, because he didn't want to deal with me getting on him for figuring out that he'd been talking about me behind my back. And so he was just blaming it on me being drunk and saying that I just need to go to bed, blah, 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 blah. And then he brought up, you have work tomorrow, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, well, you're not going to be good to go to work tomorrow because, you're wasted or whatever. And I'm like, says who? Like, I drink almost every Friday, and not once has it ever stopped me from going to work on a Saturday. Like, I've never missed a day of work because of drinking, because I don't get drunk. I don't get faced. I don't get out of control, blackout drunk to where I have a hangover the next day. And he was saying that I wasn't going to be good to go to work. And I'm like, you want to bet? Like, really? And so him and his girlfriend ended up leaving the house, and I was already pretty upset because of that. Like, I was already kind of shaken up. I was already hurt that he'd been talking crap about me. I wasn't surprised, but it still kind of hurt. Just to know that somebody that you live with is talking about you to, his girlfriend and other people to try to make you seem like a bad person, it sucks. And especially, like, when the shit that he's saying isn't true. So I was already hurt about that. And then that's when crap started getting out of control. He managed to start flooding my phone with those text messages I showed you. And he made it impossible for me to go to work Saturday because he was so damn determined to prove that I was too shit-faced to be able to, like, I gave myself at least, I think I had 10 hours to sleep. I was planning on eating dinner. I had my dinner ready before I went to help his girlfriend get herself into the driveway. And I had a bottle of water with me, and I was planning on drinking that entire bottle of water and going to bed with 9 to 10 hours to sleep. Please tell me that sounds about right, that I would have been fine only having maybe 6 shots. 10 hours of sleep, plus food, plus a bottle of water. That's how I always do it. That's how I roll on Friday nights, and I've never had an issue the next day. But he ended up sending me those text messages stating that if I had even stepped into my car with my keys and I had left the driveway, that he would have made sure that I had gotten pulled over for a DWI. So he prevented me from going to work and making essential bill money. And that pissed me off, but also because of doing that, I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't escape and go somewhere safe. Because when he gets that way, when he gets aggressive and he starts yelling at me, it does scare me to a point. There was at least one time before I met Nick and before he had his current girlfriend that he did raise his hand towards me. He never hit me. That's one thing I will give him. He never physically hit me. But he did raise his fist to me. And it was enough to trigger that in my brain that he would hurt me. If he got angry enough, he would hurt me. And he made it impossible for me to go. Sorry. This vlog is going to be long, and I apologize for that, but I need to get this out, and I need to use this as evidence if I ever have to refer to this for whatever reason. And that's why I recorded the text messages, because even though I was having a panic attack, when I was showing you those text messages, I needed to have that on evidence in case anything ever happened on my phone. At least it would be on camera. But he scared me to the point where I couldn't even leave the house. He made it impossible for me to leave the house and get somewhere safe, which is why I started freaking out, because I couldn't leave the house even if I wanted to. Not that I was planning on going anywhere last night anyway, because I had consumed alcohol and I wasn't planning on leaving the house that night. I wanted to eat and go to bed. That's it. That's all I wanted to do, but because I decided to try to be a nice person to his girlfriend and get along with her, he freaks out. And even so, I called Nick and I told Nick, I was bawling my eyes out. I was having a full-blown panic attack, and I told him I do not feel safe. I do not feel safe. I do not feel comfortable, and I'm not okay with being here right now. So he drove an hour from Solon Springs to here. It took him over an hour because the roads were so bad to come and get me. And I packed my stuff and we left. And the entire night that we were driving back to his house, my roommate, I almost said his name, my roommate kept texting me saying, that I had forced her to drink, that I pressured her into drinking, and that I'm the one to blame. That was something very specific that even Nick read, that I'm the one to blame for this whole situation, and that I had pressured her into drinking and all this other stuff. And I'm like, she never said no. I didn't hand her the shots. I didn't force her to drink them. I poured them. She, on her own will, picked up that shot and took it. No way in there did I force her to drink at all. And he was saying that I had pressured her to drink. And I'm like, no, you can't pressure somebody to drink. Like, if she said no, or she said I'm good, or she said I don't want to take this, I would have said cool. I would have probably either taken it myself or put it back in the bottle. And so it pissed me off at the fact that he said that I forced her to drink, and I'm the one to blame for the fact that she was drunk. I offered her, she said yes, and she took a couple of shots, and that was it. And apparently it was enough to make, I don't know, I guess she may have gotten drunk off of the couple shots that she took. I didn't know that, because she was completely fine up until they left the house. And I'm thinking what happened was the alcohol hit her when they were out. And, you know, I do feel bad about that. I did not want to put her in that position, but by no means did I force her to drink. And, you know, she was talking about how, you know, when they would go out that he would allow her to drink and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't think he's going to give a crap. But apparently he did. But he was harassing me the entire night with text messages and blaming me for stuff and being angry at me for stuff and making it impossible for me to go to work or feel safe in my own house. And that is so not cool. That is so not right. I should not have to fear being in my own house. I shouldn't have to fear not being able to drink in the safety of my own house. And I shouldn't have to fear being trapped in my own house because somebody is making it impossible for me to leave if I feel the need to leave, and making it impossible for me to go to work without getting pulled over. Even though I wouldn't have been drunk, it would have been embarrassing as hell, and I wouldn't want that on my record that I had gotten pulled over for, you know, somebody trying to nail me for a DWI that I would have never had. And it pissed me off, and it's not right. He shouldn't have that kind of manipulation over me. He shouldn't have that kind of control over me and make me trapped in my own house. And it was the last straw for me, pretty much. Nick's pissed off at him. He thinks he called him a self-entitled prick, and saying that he's a jerk and he's got problems, that he is psychotic. And I agree with him. There is something wrong with my roommate. Like, I do have diagnosed medical problems, but there is something wrong with my roommate. He just... You don't do that kind of stuff to people. You don't go out of your way to make them feel trapped and scared and manipulate them to do stuff for you. And it's wrong. And not to mention the whole thing when me and him were dating, of me legitimately ending up with Stockholm Syndrome because of him. Except now I'm better enough to know that, like, there is something wrong with him, and he's just going out of his way to try to manipulate me to feel like I'm the one who's in the wrong and I'm the one who's crazy. And I know you guys may not know the full extent of everything, or it may seem like I'm trying to spin some wild story, but I have coworkers that I can reference. I have Nick is the closest person to me, and then my friend Peter, who has seen these text messages on multiple occasions. And Nick was sitting outside on my porch when my roommate was screaming at me over the mail, because like there was this whole miscommunication with our landlord and stuff like that, and we thought we may have been getting evicted, and he was sitting there screaming at me saying it was my fault and that I'm the one to blame and it's my fault if we get kicked out, because I wasn't hand delivering his mail with his name on it to him. I would either leave it on that table there, or I would leave it on the table in the kitchen. And I wasn't aware that I had to hand deliver his mail to him for him to read it. But Nick was outside on the porch when I booked it out of the house, bawling my eyes out because I was so freaking frustrated and scared. honestly, because when he gets mad, he gets really mad, and he starts making threats, like he'll make me do stuff, and like, if you don't leave, I'll make you leave, or, you know, stuff like that. And he's very manipulative, he's very condescending, he's very narcissistic, he's very controlling. He can't take the blame for things that he does. It's always somebody or something else's fault. It's never his fault. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And me and Nick are now officially looking into different places for me to live, because I can't do this anymore. I shouldn't be scared in my own house. I shouldn't be living with somebody who expects me to clean up after them, who takes any little thing out on me, whether they come home from a bad day at work, or, you know, they just are in a bad mood and they'll find the littlest thing to freak out on me for. I don't deserve it. It's insane, it's stupid, and I shouldn't have to be scared. That's the thing. I should be able to come into my own house and feel safe and feel okay, and not have to worry about there being a fight, or, you know, him putting his hands on me or something stupid like that, or literally trapping me to where I can't go to work, or, you know, I can't escape if I need to. You know, and I don't care what you guys think or what you guys say in this situation. I should be able to have a drink on a Friday night and not have to worry about my roommate trying to get me in trouble with the cops. Especially if I'm not breaking any laws, I'm not getting aggressive, I'm not getting belligerent, I'm not breaking things, I'm not trying to drink and drive. Like, I should be able to get buzzed or even get drunk, like, in my own house on my own private property, as long as I'm not breaking any rules and I'm not hurting anybody. It shouldn't be an issue. It was just something he was using to try to get me in trouble, because he does not give a about me. He wants me gone. He does not want me to be here anymore. Problem is, I have nowhere else to go and he has nowhere else to go at the moment, which is why me and Nick are trying to find places for me to live, because I need to get the hell out of here, plain and simple. I can't live like this anymore. It's not fair. He's crossed the line. I'm all up in the head because of it. But yeah, I guess that's that. Well, guys, honestly, it's about 5 o'clock. I need to get this vlog edited. Jesus, I can't talk. I need to get this vlog edited, uploaded. It's probably gonna take me a while because I've got like 3 days worth of crap that I need to sort out and figure out what I'm doing with it. So I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I have no idea what's gonna happen, so things should stay pretty interesting. I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, I'm exhausted, but I need to get this stuff done, and then I'm gonna do the dishes and I'm gonna go to bed. So, see you guys later.